Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Sufi Essence with Hammad Syed. Part 7.22. The Heights, Surah Al-A'raf. We continue our profound and an intellectual journey through the divine revelation of Surah Al-A'raf, arriving at a moment of supreme tension and an unparalleled spiritual drama. We have traversed the allegorical landscapes of previous narratives, and now stand on the precipice of a direct and a physical confrontation between the divine truth and a human arrogance in the grand saga of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, and the tyrannical Pharaoh. This is not merely a historical account of a people's deliverance. It is a timeless and a resonant story of the power of faith against the illusion of a worldly might. The verses we will explore today detail the moment when the divine message transcends mere words and manifests in a tangible, miraculous form, serving as a powerful and an undeniable proof, hujjah, against disbelief. This lecture will meticulously unravel the theological, the psychological, and the spiritual dimensions of these verses, serving as a comprehensive and an intellectual framework for a life lived in spiritual truth and an unwavering faith. We will analyze the intricate and an inseparable relationship between the divine promise and the sacrosanct gift of human free will, and how the conscious choices we make in this brief and a temporal life ultimately seal our eternal abode. The divine verdict and the inevitable consequences, the verses that form the sacred foundation of our initial discussion in this segment, are as follows. Kanzul Iman, Quran. The Heights, 7-105. It is deserved of me that I should not say about Allah except the truth. I have come to you, O Pharaoh and his people, with a clear proof from your Lord. So send with me the children of Israel. This verse, Kanzul Iman Quran, The Heights, 7-105, is the initial and an unequivocal declaration of a prophetic mission. It states, "It is deserved of me that I should not say about Allah except the truth. I have come to you, O Pharaoh and his people, with a clear proof from your Lord. So send with me the children of Israel." This utterance is a magnificent and a foundational principle of divine justice, revealing that the very existence of a straight path necessitates the presence of an opposing force, a test designed to separate the truly sincere from the spiritually heedless. The straight path here is a metaphor for the pure and unadulterated path of tawhid, divine oneness, and submission. The phrase "sit and wait" paints a vivid picture of a patient and a relentless ambush, signifying that the temptations of Iblis are not random, but a deliberate and a calculated strategy to intercept and derail the spiritual traveler. Kanzul Iman Quran. The Heights, 7-106. Pharaoh said, "If you have come with a sign, then bring it forth." This verse, Kanzul Iman Quran, The Heights, 7-16, is a breathtaking and a powerful statement that details the comprehensive and a multi-front assault on the human soul. If you are of the truthful, this is an unequivocal declaration that the whispers of temptation will assail humanity from every conceivable angle. From before them refers to tempting them with the future, making them anxious about what lies ahead, and causing them to chase worldly desires with a restless hunger. From behind them represents the seduction of their past, encouraging them to dwell on past mistakes, or to indulge in the false sense of security derived from their lineage or worldly accomplishments. On their right symbolizes the corruption of their good deeds, making them arrogant or boastful. And on their left represents the direct temptation to commit sins and to indulge in base desires. The verse concludes with a heartbreakingly sober prediction, "And you will not find most of them grateful." A direct challenge to the human spirit's capacity for unwavering thankfulness in the face of such relentless opposition. Kanzul Iman Quran, The Heights, 7-107. So Musa threw his staff, and behold, it was a clear serpent. This verse, Kanzul Iman Quran, The Heights, 7-17, serves as a dramatic and a definitive culmination of the divine discourse, a verdict that seals the fate of the spiritually arrogant and their followers. It states, "So Musa threw his staff, and behold, it was a clear serpent." This utterance is a powerful and a magnificent statement that establishes the principle of absolute divine justice. The word disgraced demon signifies a state of complete and utter humiliation. a direct consequence of Iblis's pride and a rejection of divine command. The verse then reveals the terrifying reality for those who choose to follow him, a truth that serves as a chilling warning for all of humanity. It is a powerful reminder that their baseless spiritual rebellion and their arrogant inventions were not based on divine revelation, but on assumption, dan, and falsehood, kazib, and that for this they will receive their just recompense. Sufi perspective. The inner Pharaoh and the quest for spiritual freedom from a Sufi perspective. The story of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, and Pharaoh is not merely a historical account, but a profound and a living allegory for the spiritual journey of every human being. The Sufi understands that the journey from the slavery of the nafs, the lower self, to the spiritual freedom of the ruh, the spirit, is the ultimate battle. The tyrant Pharaoh is the perfect and a powerful symbol of the nafsi amara, the commanding self, the part of the soul that commands us to evil, to arrogance, and to rebellion against Allah. This inner Pharaoh is constantly telling us, I am your highest Lord. Ana Rabukum, Alele, a whisper that seeks to enthrone the ego and to make it the master of our spiritual kingdom. Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, as the messenger of divine truth, represents the AKL, the intellect that is guided by divine revelation, leading the soul away from the spiritual bondage of the nafs and towards the ultimate liberation of divine submission. The pursuit of spiritual freedom, as revealed in these verses, is the relentless struggle against the inner Pharaoh, the constant effort to humble the ego, and the unwavering commitment to the truth hack. That alone can set the soul free from the chains of shirk, polytheism, and a spiritual darkness. Commentary from Ziya-ul Quran. The wisdom of divine attributes and the nature of divine command. The Ziya-ul Quran commentary sheds a brilliant and a profound light on the theological and the spiritual dimensions of these verses. It highlights that the phrase Allah seals over the hearts of the disbelievers is not a preordained fate, but a divine consequence. The commentary explains that the word taba, stamping or sealing, is a divine response to a person's continuous and an intentional resistance to the truth. Just as a potter molds clay, so too does a person's repeated choices harden their own heart. The divine seal is a manifestation of the divine attribute of Allah the Just, a perfect and a beautiful act of justice that reflects a person's own self-inflicted spiritual state. It is a powerful reminder that the true nature of divine justice is not an act of a divine caprice, but a divine and an unerring response to human free will. The commentary beautifully and articulately makes it clear that the ultimate spiritual ruin of a person is a direct result of their own actions and not a result of a preordained and a divine fate. The beginning of a prophet's story, the message of Nuh, peace be upon him. We now continue our intellectual and a spiritual journey through the magnificent verses of Surah Al-A'raf, examining the profound consequences of disbelief and the ultimate reward of a life of faith. Kanzul Iman, Quran, the heights 7-108, and he drew out his hand. Thereupon it was white for the observers. This verse, Kanzul Iman Quran, the heights 7-108, is a chilling statement on the nature of a spiritual and a physical injustice. It is a direct and a powerful commentary on the reality that a state of spiritual heedlessness and a transgression inevitably leads one to a state of spiritual and a physical loss. The verse states, he said, get down, some of you to some others as enemies. And for you on the earth is a lodging and enjoyment for a time. The prohibition of the tree was not an arbitrary denial, but a precise and a simple test of obedience, a singular boundary in a realm of infinite bounty. The verse then provides the profound and a spiritual reason for the command, lest you be among the wrongdoers. This is a sobering reminder that a person's spiritual state is a direct reflection of their inner intentions and their outward deeds, and that a single act of disobedience can cast a shadow upon the soul. Hadith with reference. The guidance of Allah and the unwavering nature of his promise. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught with profound wisdom on the themes of these verses, emphasizing the importance of belief in the unseen and the immense reward of seeking the company of the sincere. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught, the people of paradise will be the believers, and the people of hell will be the disbelievers. This hadith is found in Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 7476. This profound hadith directly relates to the verses on divine judgment. It provides a direct and a definitive answer to the question of a person's ultimate abode, confirming the divine truth that a person's spiritual state in this life determines their spiritual state in the hereafter. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also taught, every person will be held accountable for their deeds on the Day of Judgment. This hadith is found in Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 6535. This hadith, while not directly related to the verses, is a powerful and a timeless lesson that the best form of worship is not just in ritual, but in our character. It is a reminder that our actions are a manifestation of our inner state, and that the best form of spiritual worship is to embody the divine names and attributes in our character. The hadith also gives a subtle promise that this vision is reserved for the hereafter, a magnificent reward for the righteous. The theological implications, the inevitability of judgment, and the rejection of free will. The verses in this section are a direct and a powerful refutation of the philosophical position that denies the existence of a day of judgment. They serve as an unequivocal statement that this life is not an end in itself, but a brief and a fleeting test for a greater and a more profound reality. The verses also serve as a subtle refutation of the philosophical position that a person's actions are not a result of their free will. The verses state that a person's spiritual blindness is not a result of a divine injustice, but a profound act of a spiritual self-destruction. The verses also serve as a beautiful reminder that a person's sincere efforts, no matter how insignificant they may seem, are known to Allah, and it is their sincere efforts that will be the ultimate source of their spiritual success. Our comprehensive analysis of the verses of Surah Al-A'raf reveals a profound and interconnected argument for the absolute oneness of Allah. The surah masterfully transitions from the ultimate futility of denying the hour to the ultimate absurdity of polytheism. It teaches us that this life is a brief and a fleeting test, and that true existence and a success lie in the hereafter. The verses beautifully illustrate the nature of spiritual blindness, which is a consequence of a willful denial, and they offer a profound lesson on the interconnectedness of all living things. The powerful and direct challenges to the polytheists in these verses serve as a timeless lesson for all who seek to remove the veil of heedlessness from their hearts and to return to the singular and everlasting light of Tawhid. May Allah, Iman, and Rahim fill your heart with the light of His truth and grant you the spiritual insight to recognize His signs in every aspect of creation. May He free your soul from the shackles of doubt and the chains of worldly attachment, so that you may stand before Him on the Day of Judgment with a pure and a tranquil heart. May He make your efforts a source of profound reward, and your channel a beacon of guidance for all who seek spiritual clarity. May He grant you the profound and an unwavering steadfastness on the path of truth. And may your work be a testament to His magnificent names, Rahman and Rahim.